Hey, good morning. First thing I want to do is to say happy St. Patrick's Day to all, okay? I see in our audience here at the chapel that we have many wearing green, and that's good. We hope the luck of the Irish is with all today, and along with their families. For those of you who are here physically present with us today in the chapel, we thank you for coming. For those monitoring on the internet, we thank you for monitoring and concerning yourself with what's going on Aberdeen Proving Ground. For those watching on Channel 21 and Channel 97, we appreciate your time as well. These Community Action Council meetings are important because the staff works very, very hard to package and present all of these significant activities that they're moving forward with on your behalf. And your behalf is comprised of soldiers, civilians, and families living and working here on Aberdeen Proving Ground. So the staff has worked very hard. I think we have a good agenda set for today with significant and meaningful updates for you. And so without any great delay, what I want to do is turn it over to Mr. John Carney, our Director of DPTMS, Plans and Operations, who's going to talk us through the agenda and get us going. But again, I thank you for coming, and I hope you walk away better informed with what has taken place during the course of the last month and what is programmed for the following month. Okay, John, take it away.
All right, good morning, everybody.
All right.
John Kearney, Director of Plans, Training, Mobilization, Security. Kearney, good Irish name as we celebrate St. Paddy's Day. Hopefully I have the luck of the Irish with me this morning as I talk you through the agenda and the highlights today. You see the agenda up on the screen today, similar to what we did last month. We're going to talk some key activities that happened last month, key activities that are ongoing this month, kind of get us back into the spring season, talk about some upcoming events in the spring season, some DPW efforts, and then some efforts as we're going to move forward into the summer. So without further ado, next slide, please. As we talked about last month, we supported the deployment of a unit the 1729th. That was back in February. The 28th of February, we also supported the 2nd National Guard deployment to Iraq. That's the 224th Aviation Regiment, who was a drilling unit out of our Edgewood Armory at the Edgewood South post. They are on their way to Iraq. They've got a 15-month deployment, so we kicked them out the door last month, the end of last month, and they're in Texas now, en route to Iraq, and they'll come back in about a year's time. So the reason we bring that up is we always have to remain focused on why we're here. You know the events that are going on throughout the world, deployments will continue. We've got another National Guard deployment set for the end of month May. So rotations will continue. We'll continue to rotate organizations from this installation into harm's way and individual soldiers and civilians. So we always need to remember and stay focused on why we're here. Next chart, please. We also presented some awards to some Aberdeen Test Center employees and some employees from our Director of Emergency Services for their efforts in response to a tragic accident that happened back in 2009 on H Field in the Edgewood area. During a testing operation, one of the rounds exploded. 2 civilians were killed, 1 severely injured. So to properly recognize the heroic efforts of both ATC and DES employees in the rescue response, General Del Rocco and Colonel Holt properly recognized those folks with some formal heroism awards and civilian service awards. Next chart, please. Talked about last time the HAC change of command. On the 4th of March, we bid farewell to Captain Ginger Hammerquest and welcomed Captain Malika McCormick. Always a great day, a somber day, and a great day for a young captain as one leaves command and one assumes the mantle of responsibility for command. So that was a great event for us on the 4th of March. Next chart, please. We always talk about our blood drives. We have monthly blood drives on the installation, and last month we talked about the importance of the Armed Services Blood Bank. That's who sponsors our blood program on the installation. Every pint donated goes to a service member in harm's way. So it's important that we get out and support those efforts. We also kicked off our Army Emergency Relief Campaign this month, which will run through May. And that's your opportunity to donate to a program that services soldiers, their families, and retirees who are in financial crisis or financial need, with many times free loans and grants to help them get back on their feet. So again, a great program that's ongoing throughout the installation, and that will continue through mid-May. Next chart. Top of the Bay and Theater renovations are ongoing. You know this facility has been closed for quite a while. They are on track to open later this summer and the Top of the Bay in October. You're going to see some great improvements in both of those facilities. State-of-the-art technology as far as audio-visual capabilities go. and just a more pleasant and a comfortable environment to host functions, events, and catered events for folks on the installation and in our surrounding communities. So those are all scheduled to open this summer and later on in October. Special emphasis programs, this month is Women's History Month. Last week we had our Federal Women's Program on the Edgewood side. And as a start to that program, General Justice Command Sergeant Major Rhodes and Colonel Ortiz laid a wreath at our civilian memorial, which is on the Edgewood side of the installation, right off Magnolia Road. The importance of that civilian memorial is that memorial is there to support and honor those civilians who died in support of World War II. So as a special tribute to the women who were part of that effort, we laid a wreath at that memorial before that program began. Later on this month, we'll have Miss Lily Ledbetter on the 24th. She'll be at Building 6000 at 10 o'clock, and she's going to talk about her efforts for the Equal Pay Act. President Obama signed that act into law. Miss Lily Ledbetter is the one that championed equal pay for equal work. So she will be on the installation on the 24th of March at Building 6000, which is in the C4 ISR campus. That holds about 750 spaces. So we encourage all to come out to that event, and I'm sure it'll be a great speaking and learning opportunity. We're going to celebrate the Army's birthday in June, on the 14th of June, at the Edgewood Area Rec Center with lunch, a guest speaker. We'll have a cake cutting ceremony, and we're also attempting to find out when the Army's official birthday celebration will be down in D.C. There's been some shifting of dates. One date had it on the 18th of June. I think it's going to be backed off to the 12th of June, but more information will follow so we can ensure we get some representation and some reserved seats down at that function in D.C. to celebrate the official Army's birthday with a formal ball. We continue our Futures 11 program with educational partnerships. Futures 11 is the opportunity for 11th graders to come in, engage with members of our community, engage with members of our Garrison-supported organizations in an effort to promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics programs throughout our school system. And we have Dr. Jonathan Brown here from the Harford County Superintendent of Schools office if you want to ask questions, or he'll stay around afterwards and be able to answer any questions you may have. We also have the Harford Technical School, which is supporting our Arbor Day celebration. They're going to build a replica of the Pools Island Lighthouse, which we'll talk about later. In that replica will be a time capsule that will be opened up 50 years from now. So the Harford Tech School is going to build that replica for us. We're going to have a formal ceremony on the 29th of April, which we'll talk about later. But that's another partnership opportunity between us and the local school system. The Harford Youth Commission has 3 town hall sessions set. You can see the dates there. And that's the opportunity for our youth to engage with other Harford County youth, share good ideas, and bring up any concerns that you may have. So those 3 dates there, there's, I think, a form in the back that tells you exact times and locations. Next, please. If there are no further questions or any questions from me, I'm going to turn it over to Todd Hendricks from our Director of Public Works. Todd.
Good morning. I'm Todd Hendricks from the Directorate of Public Works. The start of spring is coming. That means warmer temperatures. And the warmer temperatures means we're going into our non-heating and cooling season, in which we turn off our heating systems and turn on our cooling systems. Now, this does not apply to residential homes on post, but it does apply to our installation facilities. Now, we turn off our cooling systems and turn off our heating systems and turn on our cooling systems based on some temperature triggers as shown. There is an exceptions list, and buildings on that exceptions list are on that list due to their missions, such as the Child Development Center or Child and Youth Services, or because their particular systems won't allow us to shut them down. Additionally, with the start of warmer weather is the start of grass cutting. And on or about the 1st of April, you'll start to see our grass crews out cutting the grass, and we ask that you simply be a little bit more vigilant and watch out and be safe around our crews. Next slide, please. As you all may know, Aberdeen Proving Grounds has a thriving eagle population. The Garrison staff conducts periodic flights during nesting season to check nesting activity. The last flight that we did was a few days ago on March 13th, in which we counted 86 nests, and 52 of them currently had chicks or eggs in those nests. The next survey will be conducted on April 3rd, and we expect the chicks in those nests to be flying out of their nests sometime in mid-June. Next slide, please. On the 29th of April, Aberdeen Proving Ground will be celebrating Arbor Day and Earth Day. The theme of this celebration is Light of the Bay, to commemorate the relighting of our historical Pools Island Lighthouse. Now, this celebration will be at the Aberdeen Proving Ground Museum and starts at 10 a.m. in the morning. At the celebration, the winners of the currently advertised poster and essay contest will be announced and given a certificate. Now, this is the first time that we have incorporated an essay contest as another venue for the students to express themselves on environmental topics. John Kearney mentioned the time capsule, and a time capsule was featured in the March 10th edition of the Aberdeen Proving Ground News, and that time capsule is meant to capture this historic period in Aberdeen Proving Ground's transformation, and that'll be opened up 50 years from now. Also at the Arbor Day, Earth Day celebration will be some static and interactive displays where students and other activities can demonstrate and show environmental or Arbor Day topics. Now, I will now be followed by Joe Farrar.
Good morning. I am Joe Farrar from the Public Affairs Office. I'm here to talk about our communications update, things that we're doing to stay in contact with the community, and we're hoping that you will use and talk to us about. First, I'd like to talk about the blog. We have APG Live now. It's a blog like any other blog, available anywhere on the internet, so you don't have to belong to Facebook, you don't have to belong to Twitter, you don't have to be on a military network. You can go there and see all the latest updates on what we're doing in the community and what the community's doing. You can leave comments, we'll have photos, videos, all the things that you would find on a normal blog. And that's just one of our social media efforts that we're doing. We've got about 3,400 likes now on Facebook. We're getting a lot more questions. We're doing our best to answer those. We're kind of integrating that into our workflow so that we can get people answers to questions on nights and weekends and all the times that they're on Facebook and that we're not normally at work. And we're also starting to put up event pages for all these events that you'll be seeing here. The important ones will have an event page so you can go to Facebook, look up what's going on, and not have to go find it anywhere else on the web if you're a fan of APG. Another thing that we're doing to try to connect our old media to our new media is these quick response codes. If you look up there, you see that funny block up in the corner. That's a quick response code, commonly called a QR code. If you have a smartphone, you can download an app, a QR code reader, and point it at one of those QR codes, and it will instantly take you to the web page that's associated with that QR code. So what we're doing is we're putting them in the newspaper, because we'll have a photographer who'll go to an event, take 50 pictures of all the things that happen. Now, we can't run 50 pictures in the newspaper. So we'll put all those pictures on Flickr, or we'll write about more stuff on the blog, or put different stuff on Facebook. Then we'll make a QR code for that extra content. We'll put it in the newspaper. So you point your smartphone at it, it'll bring you to all that extra content that we can't put in the newspaper. Now this, again, is a communications tool that we're using. Of course, the key to communications is two-way communications. We're trying all these different things, just like we're having Twitter available for people to comment and ask questions for today's event. We only know what works if you get back with us. So go on to Facebook, to the blog, Twitter, wherever, leave comments, tell us what's working for you, what's not working for you, and we can then fine-tune these communications for you. This morning I'll be followed by Chaplain Boyd.